So what I'm going to do here, it's critical that the elbow is at the side and the elbow is bent at 90 degrees. Okay? This is how I'm going to assess her pronation. Okay? So I just bring her forearm forward. Okay? My starting position here is really funky. The axis is not lined up with any bony part at all. The axis is essentially on the lateral side of her arm, kind of lined up with the styloid process. Styloid processes, I guess I should say. Okay? I'm going to move her into pronation. My moving arm, I should say, stays vertical. So it stays parallel to the humerus, which should be vertical if she's got her arm by her side. All right? And to read this, what I do is for my stationary arm, I am just, let me just make sure if it says proximal or distal here, because I don't want to get you guys wrong. Just proximal, not distal, just proximal to the styloid processes on the wrist. So we're going to be, can you guys see that okay? So I am going to be here. Here's the styloid processes. My moving arm is right on the dorsum of her wrist. Okay? And this is what she's got. I have to make sure that this arm, the moving arm, rather the stationary arm, stays vertical, and that the moving arm, again, is on the distal aspect of her wrist. The axis kind of finds itself on this one, or I should say the fulcrum kind of finds itself. So if you line her up, just like this, just putting this goniometer against her wrist, the dorsum of her wrist, and you have the patient pronate, or I pronate her, and I then realign my goniometer, the axis is, you can see it's kind of floating in space here, okay? As long as this is perpendicular to the horizontal plane, and this is lined up with the dorsum of the wrist, proximal to the styloid processes, you're good, okay? And 80 should be normal for that. But guess what? You're starting on the opposite side. We're starting on the volar side of the wrist, or the ventral side of the wrist. And I start here, again, elbow at your side. I am here. Same landmark in terms of the stationary arm, but now my moving arm is just lined up with the volar aspect of her wrist, okay, just above the styloid processes. So we're here, just like that.